Hey guys, welcome back to this place. If you are new, welcome here for the very first time. I'm Carmen, and today we are watching season 1, episode 4 of Dark. I believe that this is the official halfway point of season 1, which is like crazy. The show does not have enough episodes. I know I'm only 4 episodes in, but I want so much more. Last time on Dark, we sort of ventured into 1986, and we sort of, for the most part, stayed there. We had a little bit with Ulrich mostly, and a little bit of Charlotte, like a few split screens of then and now sort of moments, and then a little bit with Ulrich going back into Winden Caves, trying to break down the freaking door to the nuclear power plant door, and also having this sort of weird moment where I'm sure in his mind he thinks that he's just hearing Mikkel because he's grieving and he's like freaking out and he's worried and like he's panicked, and the mind plays tricks. But we, the audience, know that like they're actually occupying the same space, just 33 years apart. So that's an interesting sort of thing. We also met the parents in a lot of cases. We saw a little bit more backstory. We've got some more family dramas and interpersonal relationships sort of fleshing themselves out. We still don't really know who Birdman might be. We still don't really know if Mikkel is Birdman, if he is Michael. There's a lot that is, most of the show is still up in the air at this point, honestly. Like what thread are we following and where is it going? I honestly kind of feel like that meme of the guy with like all of the red strings, like this is it, like I think I figured it out. That's kind of how I feel when I try to like make connections in this show. Anyway, I don't think that there is a lot that I have to say. Like I said, we were in 1986, we followed Mikkel, there was sheep dying, more birds dying, some more shady shit going on at the power plant. Like, there's just a lot of puzzle pieces right now, and we have to keep watching to figure out where they're going to intersect and how we're going to put them together. So, without any further rambling by me, let's do that.
Was liegt hinter einem schwarzen Loch? Verschwinden dort mit den Dingen auch Raum und Zeit? Oder wären Raum und Zeit in einem ewigen Kreis miteinander verbunden? Und was, wenn das, was aus der Vergangenheit kommt, durch die Zukunft beeinflusst wäre?
Tick-Tack. Tick-Tack.
So it does all have to do with each other.
Wo ist mein roter Lippenstift?
Oh. So she couldn't hear her.
Da oben verarschen. Mit deinen runden Kulleaugen und deiner mitleidserregenden Taubstummnummer. Aber mich verarschst du nicht.
Honestly, that's just little sibling behavior, to be fair. Aw, rude. Okay, she's a child. I don't think she fully understands the extent of what she's saying, but...
Ich muss es ihm sagen.
Tell who? Yeah. Thank you, Peter.
Ich muss es ihm sagen. Es muss aufhören.
What has to
Es muss
stop?
aufhören.
What has to stop?
Irgendwie gehört das alles zusammen. Ich weiß nur nicht wie.
Same. Same, Charlotte.
Bist du mit der Datenbank schon durch?
Nein.
Is she doing less than illegal things right now? Because I understand, but also, like, this serial killer. Like, it needs to hold up in a court of law, you know? Is there something in his... Was that red soil?
Ich möchte wissen, ob Peter Doppler einer Ihrer Kunden war. Diesen Montag.
Kann ich noch mal Ihren Dienstausweis sehen?
Oh. She thinks that he's hooking up with...
Nein, er war schon seit über einem Jahr nicht mehr hier.
Oh.
Wenn, dann holt er sich das, was er jetzt braucht, woanders.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe that's why they sleep in separate rooms. Maybe he's had extramarital affairs in the past, you know? How did she know where to go? Is that like a cabin they have?
Geplatzte Trommelfälle auf beiden Seiten.
Like the sheep
Ist er gestorben?
Nee,
and the kid?
gestorben ist
Weil er wahrscheinlich die Orientierung verloren hat und auf den Boden geknallt ist. Gebrochener Schädel. Aber sowas kommt wohl öfters vor. Elektromagnetische Felder stören das sensorische System.
Durch Hochspannungsmasten.
Nein,
Wir reden hier von Spannung im Radiowellenbereich.
Radio
Eher
waves.
Elektrogeräte.
Und die weiße Maserung am Gefieder?
Diese weißen Flecken.
Nach Tschernobyl sind die vermehrt aufgetreten, eine Form von Mutation.
Du meinst, sie sind verstrahlt?
Habe ich natürlich nachgemessen. Alle Werte okay.
Interessant.
Das kannst du laut sagen. Sonst noch was?
Nein.
So the burst eardrums, just like the sheep. Ma'am, you're touching this with your bare hands, getting your fingerprints on it and shit. It could be like decommissioned or like what they once used. If I see any fucking blue. I don't know that this is like the right moment for either one of you. You're kind of going through some shit, but I mean, you're also teenagers. Like, when are you not going through shit, you know? All right, but you are on school grounds and like in a communal changing room. So legit, maybe not the best time. You know, just saying. Also, I don't like this because the rain is like when shit happens in dark, right? Like, it was raining when Mikkel went missing. Yeah, she's not there.
Entschuldigung. Ich wollte Elisabeth abholen.
Ich dachte, die wurde schon abgeholt.
Was?
Frau Clemens ist krank. Heute war nur bis 14 Uhr Unterricht. Hat Elisabeth nicht Bescheid gegeben? Steht auch im Hausaufgabenheft.
Her hat? Sorry guys, I'm trying to check something. Why is her hat there? There she is. Yeah.
Wo warst du denn? Und dafür hast du so lange gebraucht?
Who?
Wer hat dir das geschenkt? Ich will wissen, wer dir
Ja.
das geschenkt hat.
Noah?
Wer ist Noah?
What? Oh. She's like, you did steal my lipstick though.
Wer muss aufhören?
Ich
Ja.
muss ihn stoppen.
How? Who?
Wen stoppen?
Yes, please, answer. Sir.
Noah.
Noah? Who's Noah? Who is he? How do you know who he is? I need more information, sir. Is that Noah? No, that's Yasin. He's a boy. Oh no, is he gonna go missing? Oh no. No, but you're like the demographic for the people who get kidnapped and killed and shit.
Du musst Yasin sein. Noah schickt mich.
Noah sent me. Who the fuck is Noah? No, don't kidnap this child. I mean, I'm pretty sure you already have, but no. Okay, so I just rewatched the intro bit, and some things that I noticed that are kind of interesting is the Pinecone creations, like Pinecone acorn sort of weird like doll things were in the blue room. You know, the light blue kidnap room, which I'll just call, why did my voice do that? I'll just call the blue room. So for any confusion, that's what I'm referring to. Like, you guys probably know because like it's blue. But they were in the blue room, but then it looked like they were also wherever Birdman guy is, which is interesting. And then also, sorry, this kind of has to do with it, but also it's just where my brain went. I also realized that Birdman kind of looks like the old guy that created the device I don't know that device actually lets you travel through time, right? But the device that Birdman has, like, he also looks like the old guy who created it. Also, they're saying, you know, what hides behind a black hole? Do time and space vanish there, or are they tied together in an endless cycle? What if everything that came from the past were influenced by the future, right? So we're talking about like time being a circle, which I think leads further credence to my theory of Eunice's father being Mikkel, possibly, because he could have orchestrated events like by what happened in episode 1 where he does, you know, he could have orchestrated that, knowing that that's what happened, that would lead Eunice and them to go to the caves in the first place. And like, he knew that would happen, right? Because it had already happened. And they like to talk in the show about like, it's like, it's as if it had all happened before. Honestly, I think I said this in the first episode. It really reminds me of in Battlestar Galactica, like when the Cylons say, like, this has all happened before and it will all happen again. But that's kind of like the vibe that I get from this is, and I wonder if they're saying that because time is a circle, right? So nothing is happening like in this linear fashion that we sort of think of, right? It's like Monday goes to Tuesday, goes to Wednesday, goes to Thursday, goes to Friday, you know, and time moves like this. Yet in this show, and maybe this town, time is almost like an illusion, right? Like time goes like this and 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 this, right? So it's like jumping around constantly. Yeah, so all I know for sure is that I do not know what is happening at this exact moment in time. So I'm really interested in everything that's happening, and like I wonder if when I rewatch it and like I go back, then I'll notice like when things are happening as opposed to like when they're not happening. I think it's very possible that whoever this person that's killing these kids is somebody that is doing it in 1986 or in like a future that we haven't seen yet, because the past and the present and the future are all like one in this show. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm also really curious as to why Birdman went to the place with the red soil that had Doppler on it that Charlotte knew to go to in the first place. And also, like, I think that was Birdman. It could have also been the other guy that's face we haven't seen. But also, why did he then go to, like, Eunice's house? Eunice? I'm probably saying that wrong. And because I watch these, like, early, like, everybody's, like, cringing as I say his name every single time. I'm sorry. Jonas. Sorry. You guys, I really am trying. But he went to his house and wrote something in the map in red. Hold on a second, actually. He went to his house and wrote something on the map in red. However, have we already seen that there is something in red written on the map? Because again, time is an illusion. Also, is Birdman orchestrating? I couldn't tell, by the way, if the red was already there or not. But is Birdman somehow orchestrating things to go a certain way? And if so, again, why? Also, who the fuck is Noah? Because that little girl, Elizabeth, right? She got something from Noah. She got the watch that used to be her mom's. He gave it to her. And Helge said he had to stop Noah, and then whoever that guy was talking to Yasin at the end, he said, Noah sent me. So, like, who the fuck is Noah? And, like, what is his part in all of this? Is he the serial killer? Is he the person we haven't seen yet? Also, like, what does Helge know that we don't know? He said it's happening again. So, like, I don't know. I wonder if he was like willingly a part of whatever the fuck Noah was doing then, or if he was like forced to be a part, or if he just knew about it. And also, like, what does Peter know? Like, how much does Peter know? Like, because Peter keeps being very he seems to be like very upset. Now, could it just be that he is a man who is in the closet having to pretend constantly to have this like normal heteronormative life when really he just wants to be out and himself? Like, I don't know if that's what like Peter's issue is, or if there's something more, because there was also the red soil. So he knows more than he's letting on. And I don't think that it's only that he is, you know, a gay man being not forced, but like keeping up the appearances of not being that, right? I'm not sure why they decided to continue their relationship, both knowing that, you know, the love is not the same for both of them. Like, I don't know why that's like how they decided to go forward after he had an affair with that person who I don't know, because like maybe that person was just a drag queen, so that's it. But they were also dressed as a woman, so I don't want to like misgender them in any way. So like I'm not sure exactly what Peter's, you know, sexual orientation is. And I'm not going to label him because I don't know. But from what the show has told me so far, like, he seems like a gay man in this straight presenting sort of, or it is a straight relationship. And I don't know why, if he is like a fully gay man, that they decided to continue with their relationship after he discovered that. I also, of course, don't know the political climate in Germany regarding like LGBTQIA plus people. Like, I don't know how accepted or not accepted it is there. So I don't know how able to come out he would be. And I don't know if it's also like, this is a small town in Germany. And like, you know, I know that in America, there are certain cities and places where it's a lot safer to come out than other places, right? So I don't know if this was like a safety situation, or if he just, you know, wants to like raise his kids with both parents, and, you know, that they're trying to struggle because they think that this is what's best, when usually the case is, if you stay together for the kids, like, the kids know that, and then it's a less healthy situation maybe than it could be had, you know, parents just decided to respect the fact that they don't belong together. Anyway, I'm not saying that they should get divorced. I'm not saying that they shouldn't get divorced. I'm just saying I'm not sure exactly why they decided to stay together or why they didn't, you know. All of that to say, I'm not sure exactly what Peter's hiding, right? Because of the red soil, because there's clearly more, because of that thing being up, and then like the lights, and like there's just clearly more to the story, especially when Helge knows something about a person named Noah, and like it's all sort of connected in some weird way that we're not really sure how. So, yeah. Long story short, I would like to understand the extent to what Peter's hiding and like why. I'm also curious as to like who Birdman is, right? Obviously I don't want any spoilers or anything. It's probably going to be super obvious. Like, I still have my theories that I've had. Like, I don't have any new theories to like impart upon you guys, but I wonder like what his purpose for following Jonas is, and like writing with the red on the map. Like, is he orchestrating events to go in a certain way? Because when that's happening, we also have like the layover of the voiceover saying, you know, the beginning is the end is the beginning, and there's really only one path that's already been determined from the beginning / end, right? So I'm just curious if like whoever Birdman is like the puppeteer of all of this, and he's like pulling the strings to get X to go to Y to go to Z to, you know, all that stuff. I am also writing down everybody's license plate, because this show makes me very interested in people's cars. I have the DS477 from last episode, which is probably Ulrich's car, I'm not fully sure. I have the PD216, which is Peter's car. I have the AR765, which is Charlotte's car. Like, these cars and their plates seem to be important, so I'm writing it all down. I think that it's interesting too to see the way that like all of this is sort of ripple affecting everyone's lives and just what they're going through. Like, we see Magnus and Franziska, I think is her name, in this episode, and like Franziska is just having a normal sort of sibling relationship, I think, with Elizabeth, and you know, they're yelling, and then even like she was so upset when she thought she was missing, and then she saw the lipstick, and I was like, she's gonna be like, bitch, you stole my lipstick, I fucking knew it. Just because like I have 3 older siblings, like I get it, like I know the sibling repertoire sort of, right? So I like the way that was being portrayed. Also, like, Franziska is just like, her life has been falling apart for like at least a year, you know, and nobody's acknowledging that it's falling apart, and then it just keeps falling apart. And so she's like lashing out and trying to like act out and like just figure out who the hell she is, because it's hard enough to be a teenager, and then when your life is falling apart and nobody's acknowledging that your life is falling apart, you know, I think that it would be a lot harder to try to navigate that, as well as being a fucking teenager, as well as living in this town, and then you're kind of not really boyfriend's little brother goes missing, and it's just like, what the fuck is even happening, you know? So I think I really like her character, even though she's sort of just abrasive and sort of like on the surface, you know what I mean? I'm curious about the red bracelet that Jonas found, and like what it means, and like was that from Eric's bike? Like, you know, I'm just curious. Also really curious as to what the fuck is happening with like the birds and the sheep and the kids that are dying, because they all have the burst eardrums, right? And like with the kid, we at least know that like there was that weird device that was put on him. I think it was Eric that we saw at the beginning of this episode, unfortunately. But like we know that is probably what caused like the burn and the eardrums bursting and stuff. But what is causing it in the birds? What caused it in the sheep? Like, also the dots, they said was just since Chernobyl. So it would make sense that the birds that Charlotte saw when she was a kid had them, because that was post Chernobyl as well. So yeah, but like what is happening? Like what is causing that? It was like you heard when the birds were flying over that guy's head in the last episode. It's almost like they hit an invisible wall and then fell down. So like, is there some sort of force field around Winden? Like, is that a weird theory to say? I'm just curious if like the power plant has something to do with the shit that's happening in Winden. Like, I wonder if whatever energy the power plant is expelling, like, it, you know, is somehow creating some sort of oddity in like space and like the air that's causing this crossing to exist and allowing it to exist, and also hurting the birds and the sheep. I don't know. I just feel like the power plant has something to do with it, and like the shady sort of shit that they're doing. So yeah, I don't know. Also, it's interesting that like shit keeps happening in the rain. So like, I don't know what the rain might have to do with it, because Mikkel went into Winden and like he ran, right? And it was raining that night. And then I think it was raining when the birds, but maybe not. But it was raining again. And then Noah showed up to talk to Elizabeth. And then with Yasin, I feel like I get worse at pronouncing names as I keep trying to say them. But with that other little kid, like, it wasn't raining. But it's just like, what does the rain have to do with it? Or am I just overthinking and like it just rains a lot in Germany? I don't know. I'm also curious about the candy bar. I feel like we've seen the candy bar before. but I can't remember where we've seen the candy bar. So that's... Unless Mikkel had the candy bar in like the first episode. Also, like, why did whoever Noah is give Elizabeth the watch for Charlotte? Like what? Like, why? Like, just to fuck with her? Just to, like... Who gave Charlotte the timepiece in the first place is probably the better question. Or when she got it might be the better question, right? Like, when is any of this happening? We know that for at least some of the episode, it was 36 hours after Mikkel disappeared. But, like, when did that guy sneak into Jonas's room and write the thing in red? Like, when was the light on at the beginning when that thing was open? When is the blue room? When is that guy with the tattoos on his back? That's obviously not Birdman, because we've seen Birdman's back and he didn't have any tattoos. So when is Noah? Who is Noah? Why is Noah? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I also think it's really interesting that they're talking about the end is the beginning and the beginning is the end, when, like, they also talk about time being a circle. And isn't there also, like, something about, like, not in this show, maybe, though, about, like, a snake eating itself? Like, what is that? Hold on. Let me look that up. Because I remember that has something to do with something. The Ouroboros is an ancient symbol depicting a serpent eating its own tail. Okay, the term derives from ancient Egypt, often interpreted as a symbol for eternal cyclical renewal or cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Okay, so, like, I wonder if that has anything to do with this, like, this idea of, like, the beginning being the end, and, like, this cycle of, like, birth, death, rebirth, and, like, time being a circle, and, like, the Ouroboros, I don't know how to say that, being, like, a circle, you know, of life, death, rebirth. Because they also kind of repeat the idea, like I said, that, of, like, this has happened before, it's gonna happen again, sort of thing. So, I don't know. And they said that there's one path through all of time, which is interesting. I don't really know what that means. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, you guys, but I am, like, so fucking in. Like, this show is so good. It's so good. It's so good. And, like, I want to figure it out. Like, I want to figure it out so badly that I probably am overthinking everything. And then, like, whenever, like, they actually reveal what the fuck's happening, I'm gonna be like, what was I talking about? That's probably where you guys are. You guys are probably like, what is she talking about? Like, can she try to make a little bit more sense? No, I cannot. I mean, I can, but yeah, I don't know. I like, just some random theories I have that I'm just gonna throw out there as well, regarding, like, the power plant. Like, I wonder if, and this might not make any sense, but the power plant is, like, it's gonna be shut down, right? They said that it was gonna be shut down in the first episode, and so they're just preparing to shut it down. I'm pretty sure. And so my question is the power plant somehow causing something? Like, does it know that it's going to be shut down? Like, does that sound stupid as fuck? Maybe. Like, does the power plant somehow know that it's going to get shut down, and so it's trying to, like, live somehow? I don't know. That probably doesn't make any sense, but it's a thought that I had Also, like, is it possible? I mean, I'm sure it is, but I don't know, you guys. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Like, I'm just rambling. Like, I know there's other theories that I had, but I cannot remember them at the moment. Let me go back and look for a second. I'm really curious about the pine cone people, though, and, like, the acorn, because, like, why does Birdman, I think, have those, but they're also in the blue room? Like, that makes Birdman hella fucking suspicious. Also, he could be somebody who escaped and is trying to lead Jonas to the truth. Also, he could be Jonas. He could be Mads. He could be like fucking anybody. Like, is it possible that Jonas is Birdman? And the reason that Birdman is like orchestrating Jonas to go X, Y, and Z place is because he is Jonas from a different time that went X, Y, and Z place, and now he's like came back to make sure that that's the course of events that happens. Could he be the old man that wrote the book and came back because he had the same device, right? So he could be him, just in a different time. I don't know, you guys. I think that my brain is kind of like buffering now, so I need to give it some time to try to process and figure out what other weird theories that I could have that could probably make zero sense. But, you know, anyway. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you want, you can watch the next episode right now over on Patreon, which will be linked in the description down below. You can also go, while you're over there, you can also watch my entire full-length reaction to this episode and every episode that I have watched thus far of Dark. That is over on Patreon as well. Yeah. Like I said, you guys, I am all fucking in on this show. I cannot wait to see the next episode, try to figure out a little bit more, and probably have no idea what's happening. Also, I just noticed that I'm pretty sure that Jonas in this episode, like the pillow that he's sleeping on, like, does he have the same pillowcase as what's her name, Yana, in like the last episode? Maybe it's just like a popular pillowcase. It kind of looks similar. Anyway, I gotta go because I think I'm just overthinking everything. Until next time. Bye guys. I hope to see you there.